Hello, everyone. Welcome. Today is Tuesday, April 26, 2022. I am Solid Blue Sister, and this is My Turn to Talk. Hello, Frankie. Welcome. You are number one, and I'm sorry I'm late today. Blue Rock, welcome. Welcome. You are number two. And I apologize for being late today. Brina, you are number three. Okay, I am going to get started here. Okay, and again, I apologize for being late. Bara and I just finished a show on friendly differences with Jester from Doomsday. So I apologize for that. So today, I want to talk about always having seven people in your life. And who do you turn to when we have a problem? Is it the same person? Is that person overwhelmed? What do we do to reach out to other people? Be they friends, family, colleagues, you know, someone where you'll never feel alone. And welcome, Tuttles. Old Mac Tuttles had a farm. I like the way you, you change up your names. You and Lou Rock do that. Lou Rock, you tend to change your photo a lot. But anyway, so I want to talk about the seven types of people that you should always have in your life. Some people may have um, one of those traits. Someone may have all seven. Someone could just have two. Um, but there's a reason why you should always have different people in your life because you're always doing something different. You have that person who um, you ever want to go and hang out with someone. You always have that one person that you can call if they want to go party, whatever. You can always rely on that person. Um, you have that one person who will just always be honest with you no matter what. They will always tell you about yourself. If you ask them a question, they will give you that answer. um that's the person that you go to if you want to have those heart to hearts, and you want to know what someone thinks. That person is going to tell you. And you have someone who is always going to be your cheerleader. And I'm not talking about someone who always has your back, because most friends will have your back, but you have that one that may always be, no matter what. They encourage you. They're constantly telling you, yes, you can do it. you know um they're that cheerleader. So there's just so many different people that you have to call on. And you also one other friend that you have. Who is that person that you're going to call if something happens? For me, I have two people. Aside from my husband and my son, I have two friends. Out of all the friends I have two that I call in if there is an emergency, because I know those two people. Not only will they be there, but they're the responsible ones. Not saying that everyone else isn't, but they're the ones that you know that if something needs to be done, if there is an emergency, you're always going to call that particular person, you know. Um, but they say that you should always have at least 7 people in your life because things can go haywire in our life at any second, any moment. I mean, life happens, and if you just have that one person, sometimes that one person gets overwhelmed because they're also trying to live their own life. If you're constantly going to this one person for everything, that one person can get overwhelmed, and you may get a little PO that hey, you're not listening to me, or hey, I have this issue, or you know do you want to go hang out? And they're like, no, you never want to go, so you have different people for different things. So I hope I'm making sense. Am I? Okay, for you it's the same person. Okay, so Lurak says it's the same person. The real truth is the only answer. But Lurak, there are some people, okay, and then you said you only have 2 people for real support. They are the only people I trust. It is a trust issue for me. I only need a real support. Okay, all right. Welcome, GP man. You know, um, okay, and let's see. Okay, so let me ask this: do any of you guys ever feel like any of your friends, or when I say friends, I'm also putting family in there too, that they could be overwhelmed, um, if you constantly go to them all the time for everything? I mean, do you ever feel that sometimes our friends sometimes need a break from us? Sometimes if we're constantly having issues, sometimes do you think that your friends need to kind of take a deep breath and say, just give me a moment, please? Now, what do you want to say? I really hope that I'm making sense, because I know what I want to say. Let's see. Brina says different people for different things. That's exactly how I would explain it. I know some friends and family give good advice and some won't. Or when I say friends, if I flip it, I know some won't even take my advice. Right? I mean, and that's what I mean. You have different people for different things. Um, but let's see. God is my biggest trust and support system. I understand that wholeheartedly. I understand that. Brina, I can't type any day. So my wife needs a break from me sometimes. She's my main shoulder, and there's a lot because I'm a lot of people's shoulder. Okay. All right. Hello, Mama Bear. Welcome, welcome. And that's what I mean, in terms of just having various people in your life. Welcome, Angie. Just having various people in your life, because everyone serves a different person, a different purpose. I mean, they're all your friends, they're all your family, but everyone serves a different purpose. Um, I don't know. You have the person who, if you're going to change jobs or something, you're working at this place and you want to, go and, work someplace else. You're going to have that one person who always seems to know and give you good advice on whether or not you should go down this path or whether or not you should go down this path. Where the person who always likes to party and hang out, they're not going to be the person that you're going to ask. And there's nothing wrong with that. Um, because I do believe that there are people in this world who don't have anyone to talk to. Um, or if they do have that one person to talk to, maybe that one person isn't there all the time. So if you're relying on just one person, what happens if that one person isn't there anymore? What happens if that one person, maybe they move? Yeah, you can still talk to them on the phone. Yeah. What if that one person passes, and they're gone? Um, so that's why I say that you should have more than one person, but they say that ideally you should have at least seven. And for women, for some of us, it's that doctor. We have that doctor, when we go to the doctor, because women, we have different issues, whatever. It's that doctor that you trust. I mean, you will only go to this particular doctor, you know. I don't know. You know, you have the person who makes you laugh. If you are ever down and you're in a bad mood, or you're feeling sad about something, you have that person that you can call because no matter what, that person always finds a way, sometimes without even knowing it, that they're making you laugh. They're that one that when you're around them, you just feel good. So, on that note, does anybody want to join in the conversation up here with me, or we can still keep talking in the chat? Let's see. Lurock says, woohoo, party time. Okay. I have relied on one person for way too long. That one person was gone. And once that person was gone, I was alone. And that's what I mean, that when you rely on just one person, what happens when that one person's gone for whatever reason? um Maybe you have a falling out, or like I said, they die, or for whatever reason. And what if that one person, what if they get married? Because when our friends get married, their life changes, and all the time that they would have for you, they are not going to have it for you all the time. They're going to be with their spouse, or whomever. And when you rely on just that one person, again, is that person being overwhelmed? Um, so you also have to think about that. Are you overwhelmed if you're the one person that someone always relies on? Okay. And Lou Rock, you say life feels empty. Are you are you saying that life feels empty for you now? I'm waiting for Lou Rock. Let's see. Sometimes you have to rely on yourself to strive. I am someone who 100% believes in relying on themselves. But don't you think that there are times when you have to rely on other people? Not now, I've healed, but life throws obstacles. Happiness is an inside job. Yes, happiness is an inside job. If you're not happy with yourself, you won't be happy with other people. But there are people that can make you happy. Welcome, Petty Deb and Nikki Dimes and MIPJ. Welcome. Okay. Not now. Okay. So yes, life does throw obstacles. I mean, yes, life happens, but if you have one or two people who are there, then, or three or four, then hopefully those obstacles that are in your way will get pushed to the side. Because you know GP, you bring up a good point, because you say happiness is an inside job. But okay, let me see. What if you don't have anyone at certain times? Okay, so I'm going to answer both. So, GP, you say happiness is an inside job, but you do you but do you get extra happiness from other people? And I'm talking about the people who are in your life that just make you feel good, or just make you laugh, or just, like I said, just make you feel good. And Lou Rock says, what if you don't have anyone at certain times? That is where, for me, there are times when, you need somebody to talk to, and no one's there, you know? And this may sound really silly, but I do it for two reasons. I talk to myself a lot, and I talk to myself out loud. And the stutter that I have is one reason why I'm constantly talking to myself. It is my it helps me. It helps me. But I also find myself talking to myself when I don't have anyone to talk to. When I need to work something out, and the person who I usually call, who helps me through this, whatever, they aren't there. I talk to myself. I mean, do you guys think that's crazy? Or, see, Brina says we all get into a funk sometimes. It's just important not to stay there. Good people around you can bring you out of it quicker. Yes, who doesn't like to be happy with people that make you happy? Lou Rock, I'm going to do a show on, and it may turn into this show. And Brina, you talk to yourself all the time. I mean, I am constantly talking to myself, and I talk to myself out loud. One of the main reasons is because of the stutter, and it is therapy for me. Um, but Laurent, you have people who don't want to be around people that make them happy. There are some people who I swear that you wonder, do you wake up every day with the intention of being miserable? And I don't know if these people are depressed. They very well could be, but you have some people who just wake up and they're going to complain about everything. And even if you're around people who just make you feel good, and they're just always just in a good mood, because when people are in a good mood, you tend to get into a good mood. If people around you are in a funk, you tend to get into a funk. And Brina, I'm using your word there. But there are some people who, no matter what, you know, they just complain, and they're just not happy. So, you know, Lou Rock, I mean, I think that there are some people who don't want to be happy. Okay, and Tuttle's talking to yourself is perfectly normal. Okay, GP says it's okay to talk to oneself is when you start interrupting. When you start interrupting yourself, that's when you got a problem. Yes, and then wait, hold on, I have to interrupt you there. Oh, that's funny. I stay away from people like that, just like we spoke about before, chronic complainers. Lou Rock says people lift people up and help your day and motivate you. Oh my God, my dad's like that. That every damn time we talk, I find it depressing. I really don't like to talk to him often. And Tuttles, that's what I'm talking about, because I've known people. I'm pretty sure we all have. And welcome the accommodator. Lou Rock says, who doesn't want to be happy? Tuttles, that's what I'm talking about, because you have people who just, those people are exhausting, and they are depressing, and they make you depressed. It's like you get off the phone and you're like, well, damn. I'm gonna have to take a happy pill because I feel so unhappy. But energy vampires, yes, yes, yes. Energy vampires, yes. That is a perfect thing to say. They suck all the energy out of the room. Yes, Tuttles, that is a good one. Yes, yes. Welcome, chill will. I mean, but you have people who are like that. It's like, can you laugh a little bit? Or, they're the ones that you don't want to invite to the party, and they're definitely not one of the seven people that you would call, because they wouldn't even make the top 10. So chill, welcome.
Hey,
I am not going to repeat what I was talking about, but you know what the title is, always having seven people in your life. So aside from that, do you want to say anything else?
You don't have to repeat, so I'm just gonna in live. We're gonna read the about section. Always have seven people in your life. Who do we turn to when we have a problem? Is it the same person? Is it that person? Is that person overwhelmed? What do we do to reach out to other people, friends, family, or colleagues? You'll never feel alone. Okay, so I can comment on that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Jill.
Um, I think some people have more than that. It's levels to it. You got work people, you got, you got personal life issues, so sometimes it cross over. You might need $50 for lunch or something. I don't know. You want to feed the fucking office, do office donuts, and you go say, "Hey, can I get this $50 real quick? I'll get back to you next week because I know you to get paid." Whatever, something like that. But yeah, you gotta have it. You gotta definitely have. You will hopefully have more than seven people. Damn that, god damn. I hope you have more than seven people.
Well, I'm not talking about friends. I'm talking about people who see,
No,
here
I'm
I
talking
go. I
about
got
people.
right,
I'm talking
right,
about people. I'm
right.
talking
But
about whoever.
okay, all right.
I would hope you have more than seven. Theoretically, I would hope. So I'm just thinking about. I got my sisters, my brother, my family. I got uncles, aunts, relatives, and actually close friends. So that makes more than seven for me. Typically, where I
Okay,
can depend on them on certain things. I mean, I'm not just talking about money. I'm just saying the dependable people in your life. I hope you would
right.
have people like that centered around you in general. So when it's time to get something done or through things, if you don't have that, that will cause you life problems, like an MF. Now I learned how to not center myself around those people. You may, and you're old enough. You got children, so you may have 4 or 5 children that you should be able to depend on if you raise them accordingly. So or I mean, it's just whatever. I mean, you should have more than seven people. But I mean, there are a select few that you have friends wise that maybe that can fit that description that you trust
Well, I
with
mean, and
certain
that's what I
information.
and that's what I was saying at the beginning of the show, that this, the seven people, are, they serve a different purpose.
Mm,
Every person is not going to be able to be that one thing for you. You might have to go to this person for
mm,
this or this person for that. One person may not
yeah.
be as responsible as the other, so you don't go to them for that. You go to them for this.
Mm. For just
You
like a
know,
good time or just
I
like
mean, just I mean, if you want to
for the
have
weed.
fun and you want to go out and party, then you
Yeah.
have that one friend that you call, because they're ready to
Right.
party. But
They
when
got
you
the
want
coke and they got the women.
to have the brutal, honest truth told to you, you're going to go to this other person who, no matter what, they are
Your
going to
grandma.
tell you.
Yeah, your grandma and them. Yeah, I got you. Yep. That's that, everybody needs that. So yeah, it's a village. It takes a village. I agree. But I was thinking that we
But
probably have
what if
more than seven
people?
people.
Okay, but what if people don't have that village? Because Lou Rock said that he always depended upon one person. Then when that person was gone, he didn't have anyone. So what if you don't have that village?
Well, I mean that's a different type of thing right there, right? So that's a you. It may be for different reasons as well too. Some people don't trust people, right? And others just they may not be that social. You know, they may not. It could be a plethora of reasons why, but I would suggest a person to get that kind of circuit. Don't give up on people in general. It'll come over time, but you got to
But
give
is
them a
it
little bit of
giving up on
chance.
people? Is it giving up on people, or just for whatever reason not able to connect with people?
It could be a way of both in some cases, right? So yeah, I mean it depends, but that's what I'm saying. You got to learn. You got to learn how to trust and connect and all that, and include it with the situation.
Okay, all right. So, Lou Rock, what do you think about what Let's see. Lurak says to Mama Bear, yes, it does. I've had to do it alone for a long time. So, Lurak, do you like having people around you, or do you prefer to be a loner, or do you have trouble making friends, or you don't have your family? Okay, Lurak says people don't always have your best interest at heart. And chill,
No, no, they
Lurak.
don't. I know they don't. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go
Wait,
ahead.
no, chill. I was
Go
just
ahead.
going to say that to you, Lurak was saying that chill, I barely trust anyone. So what do you say to that? I love people, but my trust issues are
Right,
big.
and I'm in the same. I'm in the same category. But you only need. You don't have to trust. You know, it's not like you're telling your innermost secrets to everybody. It takes time to trust people. But I'm saying is just to give people a chance. Um, you have to. It's this process that I won't give up on because we're not here to be alone or stay alone or die alone. I mean, you may, you're not even die alone. You know what I'm saying? You want people there to beside to go through these things. And if it was easy just getting that, everybody have it. But I truly believe whatever you omit as a person, omit out, you're gonna get back. The energy, the earth makes sure, the universe makes sure that happens. And so you just keep being you. Everybody won't be for you, but it'll be people in the world that understand you and that are in your same situation who don't want to do bad by you. They want to see you do well. I'm not saying there's a plethora of people like that. And then y'all have discord in between. Y'all have some disagreements. But there's levels to this shit, right? Just because I have a disagreement don't mean I can't love a person, can't be with a person, and we have a disagreement over certain things, we can't work it out. We tend to just give up on people real quick, but not on the other shit that probably should give up on. So if you work, like I'm a big proponent. If you work on yourself, you go to the gym, you work hard at work, you get a degree, all these things you work on, but we won't work on our relationships or connecting or our skills. It's just, and I don't want to be that person. So I try to. I mean, we all fail at sometimes, but I try to my best to keep that in mind and do my due diligence, do my due diligence when it comes to creating or maintaining my circle.
Okay, now Petty Deb says that that she drinks and I can do bad by myself. I don't need help from other people. I mean, hopefully other people are not helping you to, to do negative things. And then Lou Rock says I only let a few people in, and Deb says trust is important. Welcome, Jester. I mean, trust is important, but it's always good to have, you know, at least one of the seven. Um, I don't know because I mean, you have that person who doesn't judge. Um, again, you have that uh that honest person who's going to tell you about yourself. Um, the person that you can go to and tell anything to, because you know that if you tell them, it's not going to go past their lips. Meanwhile, when you tell the person who you like to go party with, if you tell them something, a secret, they're going to go and run and tell everybody. So you know that you're not going to tell that person that. Um, you know,
So
so
right, solid. So can I, real quick, when you do that, make that mistake, crossover. You tell the party person your innermost thoughts because it might be you've been vulnerable, drinking, or just in a moment. They go out and do something that you probably could see they gonna do, and you get mad at people in general, right? And so that's what I'm saying. So we got to be able to have a great sense of discernment, and you kind of probably know what you should and shouldn't tell certain people at certain points. Not every once in a while you get surprised, of course, but 8 times out of 10 we can know who we can trust at especially when you hit your 30s. You should be able to kind of gauge, have a good gauge of who you can say certain things to and say certain. So when we do that, whose fault is that? If I go out and tell my friend I know that blab at the mouth some intimate stuff, they put it in the street, and now we not friends no more. Whose fault is that? Is it a friend or is it yours?
no, I mean it is yours, and sometimes it's a learning curve because, and when I say that, you may not know that that person was going to blab, but when they did, you learn your lesson. Oh, can't tell this person, nope.
But a lot
So
of times that becomes
welcome, Scooter.
everybody is what I'm saying. I guess I'm referring. when that happens, people get scorned. That becomes I can't trust nobody. And so that's the discernment I had to start making. Like it's not just because one person, or maybe it's me, the people I'm trusting. Maybe I need to look at myself first because I'm not getting the same back. You know what I'm saying? What am I not doing? Is it everybody else? And a lot of times I meet, especially like when I'm trying to get in a relationship, when I meet a woman that just says it's everybody else, I run. I have maybe 2 conversations at the most. These men are here. They're all this. They're all that. And I'm never not. If she don't say nothing about her, that's a problem. Or what she can do herself better, you better get the fuck away.
So what if it's a male friend?
I don't date males, so I'm just saying. I was
I
just
mean,
picking.
I'm not saying, I'm not saying
Same
you're
difference.
dating a
It's the
male.
same
I'm saying,
principle. It's the same
okay,
principle. That's what I'm just saying. Like, get the fuck away.
all right, all right, all right. So Lou Rock says to you, chill. So what do you do?
In
And
reference
I'm
to,
not
yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah. I'm sorry.
I'm not. I don't know what reference he's referring to. Lou Rock, what do you mean by
Maybe I can ask
what do
questions
you
because he's
do?
typing. It's probably better if I
Okay.
get him to respond yes or no than actually type it out. We're talking about in reference
Wait,
to
wait,
trusting people.
hold on. He is coming up. Lou Rock, I think this is the first time you came up on my show. Welcome.
Yeah,
Hey,
he's
fellas.
awesome. He's cool. He's
What's
cool
up,
people.
Chill?
Big
What's good, yeah?
dog.
So, I'll give you a different situation. I was married for 10 years, and my own friends who I trusted and confided in tried to get at my ex-wife while I was with her. What do you do?
Chill. Something just happened to Podbean. So okay,
Yeah, I'm
there you
sorry.
are.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
we still here
Something just
though.
happened to
Tyler,
Podbean.
we
Yeah.
still here.
Okay.
Yeah, we still here.
So did you hear what Lou Rock said?
I heard it.
Okay.
Absolutely. So of course, me, I've been in the same situation. Now, I'm gonna tell you how I grew up. Everything goes. If she gonna let it happen, women choose. From that was a philosophy I grew up on. Not to say this is wrong or right. We don't want to get into that. But I know Lou probably know what I'm gonna say, what I'm about to say. But just for the sake of saying, letting everybody know, philosophy I grew up in is that women gonna choose. If she your main chick and one of your dudes hit your main chick, whether behind your back or in front of your back or whatever, guess what? She wasn't in the first place. She was
She didn't
never
do
your woman.
anything. She never did anything.
No.
But
I got that.
but
I'm
it
not
was
saying she
behind
did.
the back though.
Right. So, but in general, if that happens, like I personally, me and my friends, that I would say, hey, go ahead, shoot your shot, bro, just to see if she was loyal. I was just, it was a young me, but I mean that just to see if she was loyal. Men would do, my circle would do that all the time. So I didn't want to misconstrue that mind. And if it wasn't your circle, that's understandable. They would just, but the friends that you can probably trust around your wife and you can't. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really even, when it comes to something like that. I'm sorry, I got a phone call really quick. I would never do it, but I wouldn't expect dudes not to be dudes, right? And so I just know how far to.
I wouldn't do it either. So
So I would.
just
So Lou
Girl
Rock
would come back
is
to me. Now my girl would come back to me. I had a girl like that was really beautiful, and then a couple of them. And she came back and told me, and I just knew how far I could trust them. And you know what I'm saying? I necessarily didn't shun them because they still necessarily end up being good friends in my life. But I know that you just can't trust them around your wife. But I'm not faulting. I'm not nobody's judge at the same time because it's not like if I was in trouble, like I getting my ass whooped, they didn't come over and help, or they didn't help me when I was moving, or they didn't. Like before she came along, they didn't let me borrow a couple $1,000s when I paid them back. You know what I'm saying? So I can't rule out just the bad in people. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a weak moment or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that I just have to make that put them at levels.
so Lou Rock, is that why you have trust issues?
absolutely.
But can you blame one person though for? I mean,
It was
that's
it was more than one because it was the closest people to me.
okay.
So
Okay. Okay.
Right. And so
So
that therefore I would say what in my circle, what am I doing? Who am I letting in my circle to where I have these type of people around me? What am I missing? What am I not? So you growing up, you learn that. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, by the time you get 30, 35, you have less energy to try to do all that because you don't care about friends. But it ain't run nothing wrong with still seeking out good friends that you feel like that wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? And that would or at least be honest about who they are, whatever they are. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because
Well,
there
I
are. I'm sorry. Go on. Go on.
well, I wouldn't do that to any other man. I would never go behind their back and try to get with somebody else's woman.
Right.
So,
Right. So what I'm saying to you is that what if I have a circle like that? I found out that my circle was that much out. Like I never think I wouldn't. You wouldn't initially think they would do that, right? When you find out if you got more than one, I'm thinking like, what's wrong with me that I'm picking these friends that I can't get that. You know what I'm saying? I can't get that about them. Or am I paying attention enough attention? You know what I'm saying? Or should that even be a criteria? Because I'm really I don't care about what other dudes do. I need to care about what's me and my girl's relationship is. Because dudes
Well,
gonna be dudes, right? I need to know that she won't do that to me like I won't do that to her. I won't never. I can be in somebody's house. I have been in one of my best friend's house. Never would think about doing that with his wife. But every person ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? And men follow their dicks.
so let me ask this. So, in terms of having those people in your life that you can turn to and you can talk to or whatever, do you think it's easier or more beneficial to have someone of the opposite sex?
For a
Anybody?
man, hell yeah.
So you think that is so for a man to be able to have a woman to talk to in terms of if you need advice on something, or you want the honest truth, or someone to make you laugh or whatever, do you think that that it's easier for men to have women in their life like that, and women to have men in their life like that? That's what I mean.
Okay, easier. I don't know if it's easier. I mean, I'm seeking out loyalty and honesty and like certain things in people first, no matter man or woman. But I think law of averages would say that women typically look out for men better than a man would. That's just law of averages. Obviously, you can get good. I got some good male friends, but I don't. I would they fuck my girl? I probably put. I can tell you exactly which ones that would try,
Okay,
but I
so
wouldn't even put them in that position to do that. So I mean,
okay, but I'm
you
not
know,
okay, but okay, you keep taking it to messing around with your girlfriend or your wife or whatever. I'm just saying that for a woman to have a really good male friend who she can go to and talk to about other things, and they're just friends, do you think it's easier for her to talk to a male as opposed to talking to another woman?
about what?
About whatever, about whatever. I mean,
Okay,
I
okay,
mean,
cool.
I mean, I have a male friend that I have known since since like seventh grade, and we are still friends. I'll call him up, he'll call me, whatever, and we just talk. We just talk about. I mean, we talk about some of everything. You know,
Well, then you can have a friend, and they'll make a male a difference. But if for a male perspective, of yeah,
but
if you want to
that's.
get male's perspective, an honest male perspective, that's objective.
I
That's the
mean,
best person I would say to talk to.
okay,
If he don't like you,
so for a man, I'm asking, do you think that is more beneficial to have a woman friend that is like that, to have a female friend that is like that?
yeah, I'm saying yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Law
Okay.
of averages will tell you yes. Like women look out for men way more than a men will look out for another dude
And why do you say, and why do you say that?
because there's always egos. With men, there's always egos. They don't even like you can do something and dude go talking shit behind your back. Don't even let you know that it was an issue. A woman don't have no problem with calling a dude out and saying like 9 times out of 10. Now I'll say whatever, but I got friends that got mad at me for trying to talk to some girl, and I'm thinking like it's certain rules that we play by. They ain't playing by the same rules. I'm thinking he's one person, he not. So he hiding the person he is behind doors in front of everybody. He act like he cool to this third, and back up, but he telling her something different. You know what I'm saying? In the club behind closed doors. You know what I'm saying? And so you don't typically handle that type of. You don't got to deal with that type of stuff with women because they don't care. They just even if they don't like you and they see you a good dude, they look out for you. They want to see you do well. Just generally, just they don't have no competition with you. You know.
Okay. Okay. And Alpha Mike says, screw that 7 people rule. Don't need them. One person, the max, maybe. And GP says a friends or a potential sex partner is not the same. And GB, and that is exactly what I'm saying. And Alpha Mike, in terms of the 7 people rule, maybe it doesn't have to be 7. But I had also asked, if you have that one person, does that one person ever get overwhelmed? Does that one person ever need a break from you? Yes, they are friends. You can say, oh, well, if you were my friend, you would. Well, if you were their friend, you would. Do you ever, that one person could get overwhelmed? They may never say it, or maybe they will. If they did, then are you going to get upset? But everybody doesn't, again, I have friends who are so irresponsible. I would not ask them if it was something really important. I absolutely would not ask that person to do it, because I don't think that they would. In fact, I know they would not do it in a responsible way. But am I going to hang out with them and go out to lunch and have fun? Hell yeah. But they're not going to be that person that, like Chill says, do you have that person that if you tell them something that's supposed to be, a secret or whatever, they're telling everybody? You have those people. You're not going to tell that person. So one person, to me, you need more than one. And if for anything, it's because that one person may get overwhelmed and may just need a break. Let's see. Alphabet says, bros before hoes is just bullshit. Don't trust anyone, no matter how long you know someone. Outside friends have better interest for you than close friends. Huh. Outside friends have better interest for you than close friends. I disagree with that, Lou Rock. So basically, you would trust a stranger before you would trust a close friend. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, I'd rather trust a stranger than a close friend. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I learned don't overwhelm a friend. Okay. So when you say don't overwhelm a friend, what did you do that was overwhelming?
Maybe pour a lot out. So
Okay. Okay. And sometimes if you have that one friend, and when I say overwhelming, maybe that friend is not the one who is able to deal with all of your serious stuff. Like I said, you have that friend who is just, the fun friend, and they're not equipped to do the serious stuff, and when you keep coming to them over and over and over, sometimes those people start to back away. And if you only have that one person who you have in your life, and that person starts to back away, you'll be without anyone. But Lou Rock, I do agree with Chill. You have to kind of, pick and choose and kind of know the people that you're going to have in your inner circle. Um, for me personally, I have very few people in my inner circle, but there are some friends that I would tell whatever to, and some I would not open up my mouth. I absolutely would not say anything to this other person. They're still my friend, but I'm not going to tell them everything. Whereas this other person, I would, and I'm definitely not going to tell a stranger.
But Lou, why do you think that's the case? You can trust strangers more than you can do people who are close.
because strangers never got at my ex-wife, my closest friends did. That's why.
Can I ask how long ago that was?
2 years ago.
Like more than 5? I'm sorry.
Yeah, 2 years ago. My
Two,
closest
two, two.
friends
Okay, 2 years ago. Okay,
tried
so
to
I
get at my ex-wife while I was married to her.
okay, so I take it. Of course, you're not friends with these people anymore.
I've somebody
Um,
taught me to forgive, and other people make mistakes, and I moved on. That's all. So
okay, but
a closer friend told me to forgive and move on.
okay, and you've forgiven and you've moved on.
I have. It's taken me a long time, but I've moved on. Yeah.
Okay, so if you've moved on, then when do you start meeting other people to have that circle of friends?
I don't move on. I don't try to make friends anymore. So
All right. So let me ask this. Do you ever think about when you get older and friends tend to start passing away? Do you ever think about, not just having, I mean, because as you get older, you know, the friend dynamic changes some, depending on who you are. But do you ever worry that you'll just end up all by yourself with
no,
no
I
one?
have kids. I won't end up alone. So
Okay. All right. Okay.
no.
All right. Alpha says, "Oh yeah, I definitely knew a group who loves to talk shit behind backs and act fake to your face. That's why they get cut off. Our morals and it didn't add up anymore." Tuttle says, "I actually trust some people on Podbean more than 99% of people I know in person." Okay, I have a comment about that one. Damn phone call, Miss. Okay, it's a lot of the show. No problem, Mama Bear. I will post it later. Okay, so all right, so Tuttles. I've had this conversation about the whole Podbean family and people on Podbean with a couple of people. Do you think that you trust people on Podbean more because you don't actually know them? And for some people, they're people that you will probably never meet in person, or you've never seen them. You don't know what they look like. Do you think that's why some people uh, trust people on this platform more? And while I'm waiting for Tuttles to respond, I'm tired of friends that peer pressure me to go camping, hiking, ride bikes, stupid shit like that. Well, GP man, is it pressure or are you just not telling them no?
I never heard that before. GP don't fuck around. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, I
Don't you
mean,
ask me to go to no goddamn dinner parties no more. Don't you ask me to your barbecues no more, goddamn it.
I
Don't play with
mean,
me. I'm tired of you motherfuckers.
I don't think there's anything wrong with hiking, and I ride my bike. I think I ride my bike every day now since gas prices are $6 a gallon. I mean, I, I mean, come on. All you have to do is
I'm
just say
dying.
no, and
GP, you got
you
me
know,
dying, bro. I'm sorry, bro. That's some funny shit. Don't you ask me to come to your kid's graduation. God damn it, I ain't playing. I'm tired of this shit. Everybody want me to go to graduations and barbecues and shit and hiking. Camp. I want to go to a camp with you. But no, I listen. This is the reason I brought that up to Lou earlier because I said I was thinking like I think the reason why he may think that I don't know if you ever thought about it is because you don't have the same expectation from a stranger as you do a person that's close to you. So that's why it's easier. When you remove the expectation, of course you can trust them no more because you're not trusting them no more than what they are, a stranger. So that's what I'm trying to say to, I guess you trust people for who they are. So the first step is learning people and trusting people to be people, and don't judge them by that. We're not trying to judge them by that. What they may do fucked up. They may fuck your wife, but at the end of the day, I might be a person that go and I might kill somebody over $5 not being borrowed. And we're not here to judge people. We just understand here to try to understand each other and act accordingly. And so you'll find like-minded people by just conversing and being social. Everybody doesn't have to be your super best friend. There's level. You got best people, like I said, you work with certain people. They may be able to cross over, or you may go out be the guy you go out to the bar with. It's certain levels, and they understand that. You might be able to borrow $100 from them, or give them $100 and they give it back. You know people, family members, and whoever you can do that with. And so, but the expectation is different when it's somebody you don't know because you don't have any. And so, I would say that if when you learning people that have the same kind of thing, and then let them prove it to you. Obviously, it takes time, but to give up and say fuck it, I mean, that's not good either. That's one. You went from one end of the spectrum, trusting them too damn much, and not putting them in their category to saying fuck it. That's pretty drastic. Those two drastic things on a spectrum.
All right, I want to respond because Tuttles did respond to my question. He says, I've known Homeboy for 3 years. We Zoom chat and talk all the time. If I tell him something or confide in him, it stays with him. And Mama Bear says, I find people here are nicer than people in real life. I'm not talked down here. I feel more love here. It's crazy. And Alpha Mike says it's easier to be comfortable with people on Podbean because you don't see them every day face to face. Still won't trust on here. Hell, Podbean has way more drama in the dating app. And Kubella, I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. I've seen her around Podbean. Is also an other person I trust. We chat and stuff, and Instagram chat live. Okay, so I'm asking, uh, do you trust when you say that people on Podbean or Zoom or whatever platform you're on, you can trust them more? Is that because for the most part they don't know who you talk to, so they don't know who your friends are, so who would they tell? If that makes sense. I mean, like, who are you going to tell? And you are right, Podbean, I am learning Podbean does have its drama. um but again, is it because you're trusting these people? Because if they were to tell somebody, is it really not going to affect you, so to speak, because they're not telling your real life self. They're telling you, they're not telling they're not telling anything to your reality life as opposed to your non-reality life. I'm trying to make sense here, guys. I really am. And Shy Lady, welcome. You're gonna have to say something because I know you're there. So you're gonna have to say something for you to. There
Hey,
you go.
hey, everybody.
Yes.
I'm laughing. That's what I'm doing. I'm sitting back laughing at all the conversation. I'm enjoying it. But as far as the topic goes, I don't really have like seven people in my life like that. I mean, my kids, I got three of them, but outside of them and my husband, I have a couple of friends that I'm, good with. And one happens to have a show.
Thank you.
But as I've gotten older, I've trusted very few people in my life, and I have, in it's just like a lot of people. I have friends for different kind of reasons. I have friends where I just share very little with. We go out to lunch or whatever. People that I used to work with, you know, um, I have friends like that. But for the most part, I only have a couple of friends that I feel really comfortable that I can trust and that kind of thing. But for the most part, I don't have too many.
Okay. Okay.
As far
All
as like
right.
people that you can confide in or whatever. Like I said, I have a couple of friends that I've known forever, including this podcaster or whatever. But I don't have a whole lot of people in my life that I've known long like that. I have a few, maybe three, but outside of that, I have friends who I've met in the last 5 or 6 years who I have a different relationship with. So yeah.
Well, Solid, I'm gonna ask you a question. See if this was you meant when you was explaining some things. So, were you saying that because a person is on, maybe say, like, I'm not quite sure who said Zoom, mentioned Zoom, whoever did that, like when they're on Zoom, I don't know if they was in the same city either. That's a big difference. So if you're not in the same city or even country with the person, you can Zoom and you can talk to them people. That is to still to some degree a stranger, because you only know them as far as they show you on Zoom. And that's a big thing. Like, I might be a character of myself. You don't even know. Not to say they could be building them themselves. Hopefully they are, but it's still only so much you can really know them, because you don't have actual life. You're not there with them, experiencing like a complete totality of life with them sometimes, and it's a different feel. So that's a difference. And also, if somebody goes and says something that you said, maybe I trust in you. I tell them whatever. I mean, they live in a whole different state or city that they're not around you. So if they was to ever, say something to dissuade your trust, you wouldn't even know. It wouldn't even affect you. They could tell anybody who they want. It's not like because they don't live in the area.
And
So
no, and that's what I was saying, because Tuttle said that I've known homeboy for 3 years. We Zoom chat and talk all the time. If I tell him something or confide in him, it stays with him. And you made a very good point, Chill, because if they're in a different city, you know, wherever they are, if they were to tell someone, you wouldn't know, because they're not in your circle of friends. So how do you know that it stays with them, as opposed to a friend of yours who that you see, or or you talk to, whatever, and you all are kind of in the same circle? You would know if that person said something. So how do you know that person's not going back and saying anything?
yeah, that's what I'm basically saying. So it's a lot of levels to it, and so that makes it better though. At least it's somebody you can talk to for sure. But that's how I think we set ourselves up when we are too. I don't know the person that he's talking to. He could be, if he's like me, he's right. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to put words of people in his mouth for life. But yeah, that's a thing though. It's easy to trust somebody that's from afar, or you can go and talk to a psychologist or a psychiatrist, and they have a professional relationship with you, and you can tell them whatever, because they don't even affect your life. You don't have the same circles. It's easy to talk to people like that. But my thing is that, is it something in us that we're not seeing, that we don't want to have like one or two people in our life like that, or is on everybody else? Then that's what I would ask myself.
And
Is it
that's
something I
why.
need to correct, or is it actually just the world is just so bad, so cynical? There's no other people like me in this world.
Okay, I'm okay. Tuttles is here. Tuttles, I muted you because you had the background noise there. So Tuttles, you want to answer the whole Zoom thing? And
What
Sorry,
up,
I'm
big
just trying
dog?
to kill. I don't know what the background noise is. Might be the fan I had running. I'm sorry about that. Um, no, like, oh God, oh me, we've been friends for 3 years. I know it's an online thing. He's in Cali and I'm in Southern Ontario, but to be honest, like, some people you just sort of click with. Like, he sends me pictures like all the friggin' time of like, because he knows that at one point I wanted to live in California. So when he's just driving down the street, he takes pictures of like, what's going on around there. I get pictures of him and his family. We Zoom chat and he's sitting there with his dog, like when I tell Homeboy something, I know it's staying with Homeboy. Like I know people on here think he's a fool all the time, so he does act like a jackass on here, but in real life, like he's a totally different dude. He like works, he's got a family, he's got some kids, he's got some dogs, he's got the nicest rose garden in his neighborhood, like he cleans his car all the time. Like he's just in general a really good dude. And if I actually was living close to Homeboy, like me and him would go fishing and stuff, like I know that for a fact. Like, and if he did tell other people, I would know, because even though it is online circles, we have other circles other than our Podbean stuff. We're involved in a lot of other things online, and we got probably a good 10 people that chit chat back and forth. People that are actually really close to me, that like live in my vicinity, that I deal with in real life and stuff like that. So like if he told anybody, it would actually come back to me on stuff, because I'm pretty well respected in our circles. And but yeah, like I said, I don't know, it's weird having online friends, but it's just the way the world is these days, basically what sums it up.
no, I mean, and it seems like that. And even with COVID, when COVID, pretty much had everybody inside, more people went online. But do you think, Tuttles, that some people get online friendships, they get the reality mixed up, because there is a person online who, the without getting into it, it was like this virtual reality relationship that was only one sided, and it was
Oh,
and it
absolutely.
was kind
People
of
could be
a
fake as
stalker.
heck. Sorry. I'm getting a touch of a delay there. I'm not trying to talk over you. I apologize.
No, no, go.
I do know that a lot of people can be fake ass people online and stuff like that, but like the Cubella situation, like we go on Instagram chat and she's got me on the counter and I'm trying to help her learn how to cook something different, and her kids are running around, and her dog's knocking the phone over. You know what I mean? Like, there's different levels of stuff, and but once you hit a certain level, there's the personal effect that that Q Bell is not really some like 60-year-old dude with like a fake avatar. But
Well, okay. So, Tuttles, do you have any, and Lou Rock, I'm not trying to, lay you out on a sofa or anything, and we're all standing around you trying to figure you out or anything. But, oh man, I'm calling you old man now. Tunnels, do you have any thing to say for Lou Rock and the whole trust thing and
oh, I went through that. I got married young. That's usually a mistake in most cases, not all, most cases. And I actually went through that. My first ex-wife, no, my ex-wife, my first wife, the mother of my 22-year-old son, like she had an affair with this dude that I knew and all this stuff like that. And I shut down for probably a good 10 years. I lived in my van. I owned a house, had a job and everything like that, but I rented my house out. I lived in my van. I rented a little apartment so when I had my son on the weekends, he didn't have to come and hang out in the van. And I was just basically by myself for the longest time. And then I just happened to meet my wife, and it just, when I wasn't looking anymore and I was just totally done and over everything and totally self-sufficient and back in my right frame of mind, that's when it happened. And I met my wife, and we've been together for 8 years now. We share 7 kids. I had one, she had two, and then we had 4 more, and it was just the right time. I've been where Rock is. I've been through all that, and it just takes time. And never rush it. Never try to go out of your comfort zone. You do you, and when you're ready to do that, then you're ready for it. And then it'll, honestly, most of the time it'll find you somehow, and then that person just sort of will nudge into your life a little bit at a time, gain a little bit of trust, and then you're off to the races, and then hopefully it's happily ever after.
okay, all right. Mama Bear says, I've never trusted anyone 100%, not even when I got married. Um, and she says, I find it hard to trust anyone. And Alpha Mike says, a lot of people show their true colors and you finally realize they aren't worth it to deal with anymore. So you move on and just be more careful with who you chill with. Brina, having too much expectation and trust up front is not good. It takes time to get to know people, show improve. Lou Rock says, I tend to trust easily. A person works their way to zero. Not sure what you mean by that, Lou Rock. And Juju says, how many of your friends have you in their phone as a ringtone? Let's see. Frankie,
Well,
thank
when
you.
you meet somebody, you listen to what they're about, right? And you tend to trust them, right?
You take
And
him
they
at the
work
face
their
value.
way to their bullshit, right?
But do
So
you tend, okay, so let me ask this. Do you tend to trust people that you just met? I mean, you're just meeting them. So how are you
absolutely,
trusting them?
yes, to see how they are. Yep.
But is it a trust thing? I mean, because when you first meet people, I mean, you're just meeting them, so I mean, there's no reason to trust them or not to trust them. You're just meeting them. I mean, if you continuously hang out with this person, then the trust thing comes. But if you're just meeting someone for the first time, how are you putting all of your trust in someone?
Why the fuck would somebody lie to me if I'm just meeting you?
Lou Rock,
Because I'm
people,
100% honest from the get go. So
right?
why would I expect that from somebody else?
Right, but people lie all the time. You can go out, you can go out to a bar and a woman can ask a man if he's married and he'll say no when he is, or vice versa. He'll ask her, are you married? Or sometimes people are just putting on fronts for other people. They want people to think that they live this particular life when they really don't. So that's a lie. So I mean, people lie all the time.
So you get
Yeah, but stuff like
100%
that
from the
comes
get
out.
go, and then you work your way to zero.
Exactly. That's my
Okay.
perspective on it too.
Okay.
That's crazy. That I did. Hey, I'm sorry.
So, Jill,
I'm the exact opposite. It's crazy. That not to say they're crazy. I'm saying that's crazy how things go. Like, because I'm the absolute opposite. it's zero from up front. And then as I see you, that's why no expectations when I meet people, because they have every reason to lie to you if they have an ulterior motive. They don't, I mean, you could be rich. I don't know. I know, so, whatever. They could be getting one. If you at the bar, you buying drinks for everybody. They may want to be your friend because you buying drinks. You never really know. It could be a plethora of reasons why people lie to you because they just used to lying and just people do it, whatever. And so that's what I mean. If we don't change that, right? If I didn't change that initially, that perspective, because I understand where they're coming from, because I used to have that to some degree. But then I learned, like, I'm putting too much expectations on these people who I don't even fucking know. And they never earned my trust. They don't have earned my secrets. They haven't earned, you got to earn that shit. You got to earn your way into my family life and into my personal life. And until you prove that, then no, it ain't nowhere getting there. So that's, opening up, you leave yourself vulnerable initially. And so that will lead you to a pessimistic point of view, and when you're pissed off at everybody, because I think you might be giving yourself too much at first, opposed to being reserved. But if you're a giving person, that's hard to do, not to be reserved from. So that's just hard, man. And that's what I mean. That's why, opposed to necessarily putting on everybody else, and that's what I have to think about. Like, I see what I'm doing, so I can go differently, opposed to just saying fuck it, because that shit that's hard. Matters of the heart are hard shit.
So, Shiley, do you want to weigh in?
Yeah, I'm kind of like chill. I don't. I'm kind of reserved about telling a person everything that I just that I hardly know. You have to build up some trust for me to tell you things that I wouldn't tell a really good friend. I have to see if I can trust you. That's how I am.
No, and I'm the same way. And see, for me, you go from 0 to that 100% because, as I've said on the show before, and some of you all know, you cross me, on certain things, I will hold a grudge. I will hold a lifelong grudge. It is a it's a character flaw, for me. But I will hold a grudge. I go from 0 to 100, because if you start at that 100, you are automatically opening yourself up for disappointment. And sometimes it could be disappointment that that person didn't even know that they caused, whatever, but it's still disappointment. So therefore, you're looking at them like, well, you did this to me, so therefore. But if you go from 0 to 100, then you see their little flaws and what have you, and it's like, oh, okay, this person's cool, but, or okay, I can do this with this person, but I can't say this to this person. You learn how that person is. And Petty Des says trust is earned like friends. So Jester says, I hooked up with a married grandma before, didn't know she was married nor a grandma. She failed to mention this. If you want to get lied to up front, try speed dating. Um, let's see. Okay, Frankie says, I also take my time. I've always found it helpful to just watch how people treat others. You can learn a lot that way. Absolutely, Brina. Absolutely. And you know what? People may think that I'm crazy for saying this, but coming from someone who is a dog lover, I also look at how people treat their pets. If you treat your pets like crap, I have a huge problem. I have a huge problem with that. And Mama Bear says I hold a grudge for a long time too. Yeah, I'm really bad about the grudge thing. Um, so let's see. I give 100% from the get go. Okay. No, Bahram, doggone well that I do not like cats. I am not a cat lover. I am a dog lover, and I like horses and dogs. I am not a cat lover. And Scooter says, I am a grudge. You choose where
And see, and
you
that's what I
stay.
and see, Sada. That's where I see what you're saying, and I'm a big proponent. That's my number one proponent of how you treat others. But not only that, is even more so is because you just said it, like you don't like cats. So that makes me think about my main thing is that when people are in situations they don't like, or they how they handle them, or people who, what I'm saying, when they are in those situations, unfavorable situations, I learn a lot about people then, and that tells me what when they're in those like weird situations, what would they do? What if I don't know if when it comes to drop the $100, will they go ahead and pick it up? You know what I mean? Not tell them with, if somebody else's girl was trying to get at them, what would they do? Those are or just like, or is time like for guys, it's 2 against 10. Is he gonna stick in there and he gonna throw them hands with me? You know what I'm saying? It's just that's how it is. Can we go to war together? Like, it's those are the times I might be completely opposite with this person on everything as far as thought processes. But if I know I can trust that man around, my girl, my kids, or he's an honest. If I find out he's just a solid person, I don't give a damn about our difference in opinion. He gonna be that's my guy. You know what I mean? Like, I got a friend just like that. We are totally opposite on so many ways. But when it comes down to Nick Grit, when you need him the most, he's right there, standing tall. And so, and those things you just gotta identify, like you do, like you're aware of yourself, and know you know your flaws. That's awesome. That's a precursor to a good person. You know what I'm saying? So for me, like, we know not to say we're great at them, but we know we need to be better at them. And so that's the things that you gotta look for in other. I think in other people. Do they have that awareness? And you gotta pay attention to those things. And when we don't, we leave ourselves up to be set up for failure.
So, Jill, let me ask this because I do have. I think I have those seven people. I definitely have five in my life who I go to for various things. But there is one particular person who is they have my back. I know they do. They have been a good friend for years. And no, shy lady, I'm not talking about you. They have been a good friend for years. But let's just say that we were in a fight. I'm too old to be in physical fights and what have you, but let's just say we were. This person, I know they do not want to get into any confrontation. They will walk the other way. They themselves would probably get beat up, whatever. So, do you think that that person does not have your back because um, they're not able to have your back, so to speak?
You mean like in a fight physically?
Yeah.
Like, oh wait, I got friends. No, the friends are just gonna run. They just ain't that kind of guy. You
No,
ain't
no,
gonna
no,
really
no,
hold
no,
it.
no, 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 no. I'm not saying that they're going to run. I'm just saying that physically, they're just not that person. I mean,
It could be not only physically, it
okay,
could be mentally. Some people are just fight or flight. They run. They're not that person. I'm not gonna blame them for being that person.
right. Oh, right,
And
right.
even
That,
if they
right.
stand in
That,
there, my
that
point
is what
is
I'm
that
asking.
yes, but if they do stand in there, that's what I'm saying. It makes even like I got a friend like he's smaller than me. He don't fight, but he's standing there and got his ass whooped with me anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause we in this together, and that
But
says a
even
lot
if
because
okay, but even if, but you know that this person isn't.
built that way. What do you mean?
This person just isn't okay. For instance, um, you have some people who um you have some people who are just they're just like you said they're just not wired that way. They will be there for you for everything else, but when it comes to a confrontation, either it be physical or if it's verbal, whatever, they're just not that person. They just don't want to be in the middle of that. They're just not that person. So do you blame them because they're not that person? They're still your friend. They will have your back any other way, but you know they're not that person.
Right. So if they're not a fighter, they're not gonna fight, and I know that they're not a person. So that would be a good example. But I'm not gonna blame them for that because I just
Okay.
know. I mean, that's if I know. If I don't know, I just know. Like I said, I know where to put them. But that's a different kind of thing. You know what I mean? That's physical harm on themselves. It's not like an argument or debate. It's actually physical harm you got to inflict upon yourself from 10 other dudes we fight. You know what I'm saying? So I I would feel some kind of way, but you know my younger self would definitely whoop his ass. Like not only that I'm gonna get out this 10 dudes. I'm gonna find you and I'm gonna whoop your ass. And so I would tell my friends all the time, if we in it, we in it. I don't care. So one way you gonna get your ass whooped. So we in this club, we going in here in hostile territory. You might as well fight these 10 dudes because when I find you, it's gonna be like fighting 20. I used to tell motherfuckers that all the time. And so, hey, you can pick and choose. I know what the best thing to do, but I let them know forever. Tell you, it's going down. What you gonna be running for your rest of your life because you're gonna have some confrontation. But but for the most part, I learned that some guys aren't fighters. I can't hate them for that. But I mean, but at the end of the day, is what I guess I was referencing in general was when people do things that they don't want to do and they do it for you. They come through for even though they may not want to be, even though they may not be that person. Even though that, like, if I help you move, I love you. Listen to me, people. If I help your ass move a couch, a box, anything, especially if your shit ain't packed up, oh Lord, I love you to death because I can't stand moving. Can't stand it. And so certain things like that says everything. Like when, that man don't want to hate. I hate chick flicks. You got me in the movies watching some shit with I don't know Julia Roberts. I don't have. I love your ass, and people don't look at that like they don't. Some people don't look at it like that, but that's a telltale sign of how somebody has an affinity for you. Have your best at heart, not everything, but things. It's levels. But like I said, I wouldn't blame him for a fighter for not fighting, but it depends on what it is, though. If it's a debate and you ain't got my back, and I know you being neutral just because you don't want to argue, I don't know. I mean, you be my friend, but I don't know how close we gonna get because you punked out.
But Will, one of my favorite movies of all time is The Sound of Music. I love that that movie. I love Julie Andrews. The hills are alive with the sound of music. So,
She
all
done
right,
seen the shit.
I wa-
I
I want
was about to press the heart, and
see.
I just
See,
took
no,
my
no,
finger away
no.
from
You
that
better
damn
press the
heart,
heart. You better press
and I don't want to
gift
do
there
it.
too.
I'm
Uh
not
huh.
doing it.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
See, look,
So,
this is how you know I like your show right here.
uh huh.
I
Okay,
mashed it
so
anyway.
GP Man says, "Why do y'all hold grudges? That's bad for you." I respect everyone from the get go. Choose where you want me to stay. Okay, GP, I know that grudges are bad. I have been holding grudges since I was little. I mean, it was something that my parents always said. You cannot grow up holding grudges against people. And when I say I hold grudges, I literally just started talking to someone that I had not spoken to in about 20 years. Seriously. I hold grudges depending upon what it is. I hold tight on it and I will not let it go. And I'm older. I won't say how old I am, but I'm older. And I will probably die the
You
same
too
way.
old for that. You too old for
So
that.
but I do, and it is a character flaw, and I know that it is. Um, but depending upon what you do, if you cross a certain line with me, depending upon what it is, that grudge, I can't. So, and again, I know that it is a character flaw. So, Lou Rock, thank you. And Chill, he sent something to you. And Shy Lady, you also got some love. So,
Yeah, appreciate it.
so Tuttles, no problem. You're probably gone by now, but I know you have dinner to serve. So, Shy Lady, you want to chime in here?
Um, it's yeah, grudges are hard. I try not to hold them, and but grudges are hard, especially if they're people in your family. It's really really hard. But I have people in my family that I'm dealing with that hold grudges and don't speak for a long time, and to me it seems like it's petty some of the stuff, but it's like, oh well, I just learned to accept them for who they are because they are my family, and a few people that I have been friends with, I had to let go. Rather than hold a grudge, I just cut them out of my life. Hindsight, 15, 20 years later, I think that I probably should have forgiven them because I think at their true nature that they meant well. So part of me is kind of regretful for people that I have cut out of my life because I think I was maybe too critical. So that's all I want to add.
Okay. right. I mean, and those are very good points. But again, the grudges that I hold, and I am holding one particular one even now. Again, depending upon what you do, if you
Right.
there's just a line,
Mm-hmm.
that you cannot cross, and it's something that that my dad just, I mean, literally all my life I heard, or while he was alive, he would always say, you and these grudges is, pretty soon, one day, that's what he always says, you can't keep doing it. I'm like, Daddy, I'm trying to, when he goes, I know, but you and these grudges, ever since you were little, you and these grudges. I mean, I remember being in, well, back then it was called nursery school. Now it's called pre-K or whatever it is. But I remember I remember getting so mad at this one little boy that I helped this, and he ended up going to the same school that I went to. I didn't talk to that kid again until he was like in like sixth grade, and his mother would always say to my mother, my son wants to be friends with your daughter, but and it was like, nope, I'm not budging, because, and again, this is just
What he
something that,
did?
you know,
What he did? Come on, in kindergarten, in
I'm
kindergarten.
I am just saying that
What did he do?
I'm just saying that
Uh,
I am just saying that at the time when I am in nursery school, when I'm like 4 or 5 years old, however they are, whatever, and I distinctly remember I was painting. And this kid would come, and first of all, we just didn't get along in the first place, but I was painting, and he came and he took a paintbrush, and he went and he scribbled some paint all over my picture that I was painting, and I just saw red, and I mean, again, I'm like 4 or 5, and I held that with me until like I was in sixth grade, but
yeah.
I'm just saying that, again, Will, I know it is a character flaw. And as I have gotten older, as people have done things that, especially if you betray my trust, whatever, nope, 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 nope. You can
Hmm.
forget it. You can forget it. And Shy Lady, like you said, just write them out of your life. Yep,
Well,
they are
nobody want to be your
gone, and
friend,
that's
no
it.
way. Then
But you know what?
hell, I
Even
can't even scribble on your picture.
But you know what? I can remember people that I didn't like in the fourth and fifth grade, and I see them on Facebook. To this day, I don't want to be friends with them.
Y'all getting on my nerves, boy.
I'm serious.
Well,
I'm
Shy Lady,
serious.
maybe that's one reason why our friendship has lasted for over
It
thirty
probably
thirty
is.
years.
I like there's a picture popping like be friend like hell no no.
no, no. Hell no. No, she don't even. This is crazy. Good.
Oh, well, I mean,
What? Hold on. Petty Dead said, my best friend died. I promise I'm gonna kick her ass when I see her again. She could have chosen life. Her mama sent me her ashes in the dang, that's crazy. So I understand that. Oh man, that's crazy. She said she gonna kick her friend ass when she see her in heaven.
so,
They gonna kick both of y'all out.
I mean, in Shy Lady, you're saying I'm just being real. Yeah, you grudges since childhood. I mean, I, sometimes
That's a
people push
show
those
itself.
buttons. So is what?
That's a show itself. Grudges. And since childhood, we can have a whole. We should have. That's crazy. The guy who bullied me. Now I do. Now listen. I would not have a like. All right. For instance, um, there was a bully on a block, and it was some really crazy shit that he did. But I seen him, and I was like, all right, I'll pass that. But he was still the same schmuck, so that I don't like him. He was just as much a schmuck he was when he was 12, when he was. And it wasn't like he was even really bullying me. He just bullied other people, especially my uncle who was close to me, and he's autistic. So I would be pissed off about this, and he just like some crazy stuff. So I'm like to myself, man, he can't be that same person. He is that same guy, and he's just 40 now. So it's like I don't like them, but I would give them a chance. You know, it was kids. But I do certain things are just I do understand certain things is just it reminds you of something that you can't get over. Like if somebody if I'm painting a bunny rabbit and somebody comes messing it up, I mean I might just not can't get over that for the rest of my life because I always see that bunny rabbit and that blotched face that he did, on my canvas, and I can't stand him. So I get that, but yeah, some things are irreparable. You think but I don't know. I guess everybody got their thing, right? Right, Charlotte?
I'm just
We all
I'm
works in
sorry. I
progress.
mean, and
We all works in
and
progress.
I have said that it is a character flaw. Okay, and I admit that it is a character flaw. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, well, Frankie says I have a grudge against person who took my voice. Like I can. That's what I'm saying. I can understand something like that. That's something that
thank you
yeah,
for
that's hard.
reading that because I didn't see that. So thank you for reading that. Yeah. So I mean, so yes, Frankie. I mean, I understand that. I totally get that. But like Shy Lady says, you see them on Facebook, on Facebook, and some people you just want to
Damn,
sock them. It's like
damn.
you go to that
From the
class
fifth
reading.
grade,
You go to that. Well, Shy Lady, how old did you say you were
he
when you
said
were
from the
with the
fifth
person on
grade.
Facebook? Did you
Fourth
say fifth?
grade. We actually had
Fourth?
a fight.
Oh man! And so she beat you up in the fourth grade. You still don't like her to
No,
this
no, no,
day.
no, no. I beat her up, and she tried to get her older brothers and sisters to beat me up.
What's she supposed to do? She's supposed to let you get a whooping or get away with ass whooping? Oh no, that ain't how
Fight
it
like a
works.
woman.
Are you from Chicago?
Yes,
Charlotte from
yes.
Chicago? Or you just
Yep.
what did oh this no you you know how shit goes. She know how it go.
Oh, so now,
You beat me up, I'm going to get my big cousin.
you're stereotyping the sisters that come from Chicago, huh?
I'm
Oh,
from
okay,
Cleveland. I'm
okay.
from Cleveland. I know how it goes. Shit, it ain't no surprise. I ain't about to sit up and act like we don't know how it go. If you gonna go get your big cousins, you get beat. If you got beat up, you probably you got a big cousin that can whoop on her. You probably gonna run to her big cousin and go get her and have her beat her up. So that's just how it go. That's just how it go. Come on, y'all. Kid
Okay,
stuff. It's kid
Scooter
stuff.
says she's from Wrigleyville. That's not Chicago. Just kidding.
But I do know I would have it was the twins. They were like terrorizers on the block as we were teenagers. Um and we had to beat them up a couple times. We got like big neighborhood fights. Like man, one dude threw one of them through their house window off of the porch. It was crazy. Police everywhere, people pulling out guns and we fighting. And this was in our teenagers, but literally 5 years later, they went to jail. 5 years they get out, and then like it was like kumbaya. It was like we just let the childish stuff go. And they had some literally some real beef with us, and same difference. And so it was like let's let that stuff be, let bygones be bygones. But I think men do that way. I know I don't understand, but I think men do that way better than women do. At if we're talking law of averages.
Well, I don't know. That's why you need those 7 people to talk you off the ledge. You need those 7 people to talk you off the ledge.
Put the
So,
gun away.
okay, guys, I am going to wrap this up. Shy Lady, I will start with you. Do you have any words of wisdom?
Um, no, no, not really. But it was a good topic. I enjoyed it, and especially the laughs. I'm always guaranteed a few laughs. So keep doing it. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will say I am going to be changing the format of my show some. Probably in the next 2 or 3 weeks. I'm thinking of something that I'm thinking about adding. So if I can get it to work, then it will be something that you all I think will like. So, Chill Will, any last words?
Nice to see all y'all faces and hear all y'all voices. See what I mean? Because I like when I come in here and I get to see everybody's smiles and hearts sprinkles and Care Bears and espressos and Capricorns and on unicorns eating candy corn. Great.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't
Awesome.
see any hearts from you. Did I get some hearts from you today?
I
Yeah.
wish I could take them back. I wish I could take them back. But yeah, good topic, awesome topic, good conversation, and I do. Anybody needs to reach out. If I got time, you can always call. You can always hit me up. Like I'm me. I know some people like I'm. You see me right here. I'm probably better in person, but I'm definitely me. You know what I'm saying? I might be a better version of me in person, but I definitely got flaws. But when it comes to talking and just chopping up and chatting, man, if y'all feel any kind of way, you always hit me up. I got Instagram. I got Telegram, Instagram, all of that, all of them grams. Not them. Hold on, not no cocaine. I don't do that no more. But don't you come to me for that. But if you want to talk, we
Oh
can do it.
Lord,
And it's
help
always
us
good.
all.
It's always good to see y'all and hear from y'all. And Lou, man, good talking to you, bro. You came up and chimed in. We'll love to hear you more. And
Yes, yes, Lou.
yeah.
That was good for you to
Bye. What
come up
bye?
and
Is
talk.
bye late? Is bye late?
No,
He can come
no,
here
he
talking
no,
stuff.
he is here. He is here. Bob did all his talking earlier, and you guys, we
Oh,
did a show before this show. That's why I was late.
there's no
Um,
excuses.
we did a show
No, I
with
want to hear the excuses.
Chester
I hold
that you
grudges.
guys is already up on YouTube that you guys need to check out. And Jester, again, I apologize for running my mouth so much, but it was still a good show. So you guys
Can
have
you apologize one more
check.
time for running your mouth so much?
You guys have to check that out. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. As always, go where the wind takes you, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Have a good afternoon or evening, wherever you are in the world. Bye. Okay, have a good day, everyone. Bye.